Okay, so this is gonna be a two-part, I guess, because my phone, I had to clear some things out. We're back to the milk and cream. So here's the heavy cream. Pouring almost full, so it's about 3/4 of a cup right now. And then let's see if I can do this one-handed. Get it as full as possible without spilling it all over the place. Okay, so it's 3/4 of a cup of heavy cream and a 1/4 cup of 2% milk. Pour it in. Okay. Okay, now we move on to the next step. This one's going to be kind of tricky. So we're going to put half of a cup, here's my measuring cup, half a cup of vegetable oil. Because, you know, I have the huge thing of vegetable oil, so yeah. Which is actually pretty cheap at Walmart. So here we go. Half a cup. Make sure all of it gets in there. Okay, the next one is vanilla extract. You can use an imitation or the real stuff. It doesn't really matter. I just buy the cheapest one they have, and it's usually in a big container, like this one. So, 2 teaspoons. I typically just kind of eyeball it. That's about right. Maybe a little more, but it doesn't really matter. It enhances the flavor. So, now some of you may have wondered why this pot was sitting here. Well, it's to boil some water in. You'll need to put 1 cup boiling water. Not microwave till it's warm, not hot coming out of the tap, because it will not activate the chocolate properly. So, 1 full cup boiling water. And that's after it boils, so you might want to put a little bit extra and measure afterwards. Okay, you'll notice that my water is actually a little milky looking. That's because I used the measuring cup for the cream and milk that I used earlier to measure it out. It isn't going to hurt it. It's just a way to get that last bit of heavy cream, because cream is really expensive right now. So leave it on there till it boils, and while you're waiting for that to get to boiling, you can take your mixer, mix this on low to medium speed until it's well blended, and it'll be pretty thick, but I'll show you when we're finished with this. So I'm going to get off here and mix it, and then I'll pop back on to show you the end results. Okay, now as you can see, it's kind of a really thick consistency, almost like a fudge batter. You know, fudge brownies. And the water is starting to boil, but you want to get it to a hard boil, okay? So that means it's going to boil all the way across. You'll see the bubbles coming up a lot more. So while we wait on that, I'll shut this off. Okay, that's at a hard boil. So we'll shut this off and set this over here. Get the measuring cup. Careful not to burn yourselves. I've done it before. So we pour it into here. Now, this is going to be a little tricky for me because usually I mix while I pour this in. It's just easier. So you just dump the hot water in there, and it's going to get a little noisy. And so while this is mixing, I'll shut this off for a second. Now, as you can see, it's pretty runny, and if I can get my spatula out here in a second, I'll just use this one. Alright, this is the consistency it's going to be. Oops. As you can see, it's very runny. But it turns out the most moist chocolate cake you've ever had. Okay? And I'll have to make a number 3 video if I don't save this right. But there's 2 videos to this series, so you'll have to look them up and try this out at home. And I'll show you how to prep the pans. Alright, so today this cake is for a benefit. Always make sure you wash your hands in between steps. Alright, now the spray. Go around the edges, go around. Take and place your parchment paper into the container. like so. Make sure it's down in there. And I spray the bottom of it too, just because, you know, in case something gets underneath this parchment paper, I don't want it to stick. But then I spray the parchment paper. The piece of paper hanging, there we go. And that's it. Okay, now you divide the batter. I usually use a 1 cup measuring cup, and I scoop 1 cup in each until it's finished. I guess I can show you that here. Okay, both pans are completed with the parchment paper and the spray already in them. Now, here's all you do. You might want to scoot this closer. Okay, 1 cup in this. And you just eyeball it. And you keep doing alternating, putting a cup in each until you're out of batter, and then you scrape the remaining batter and whichever one looks like it has the least. Okay, and there we go. Sorry about that. My hand got in the way. And there it is, and I'll scrape the rest with my rubber spatula, my Guy Fieri one. It's really sturdy. You should buy one. But cakes are pretty well even. Now here's a trick. Tap them down on the surface. Do you see the air bubbles coming to the surface? Okay, and you keep doing that until less appear. Okay, you put them in the oven, preheated oven, at 350 for 20 to 30 minutes. I usually check around 25 minutes. I insert a toothpick into the center. Be careful not to bump the rack or the cake, because if it's not done, it will fall a little in the center, and you don't want that. But if it happens, it's still edible. It just won't look as pretty, so flip it upside down. And I'll make another video when I'm finished and show you how to decorate this and the icing and everything. Hope you enjoy. Bye.